Hi, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to another session of Marketer Access. This is a session that where we contribute with content to marketers, non-marketers, small business owners, whoever is curious. But it's also an arena where you can ask questions. So I do recommend that if you have any questions coming up along the way, or if you're watching the recording afterwards, to come with those questions as well. It's really a session for you to give you some insight into marketing or give you some new reflections on your marketing. Even if you're a business owner, might be running a marketing department, you might be studying marketing, yeah. So today's topic is actually inspired by what we get a lot of questions of in Pine Tree Marketing, which is converting clicks into customers. Not necessarily directly asked like that, but people could be frustrated with lack of sales from their social media. Can be somehow frustrated with the effect of their marketing, not really knowing where the money goes when they spend money on marketing, or not able to understand, what's really going on, or wondering what do I do next. So it's all about today how to either increase it or make it exist if it's not there, or increase it if you have some conversion and want to improve it. The better conversion you have, the easier it is to spend money on your marketing activity. So if you have coming to a formula where you spend 100 call it dollars on marketing, and you're getting $500 out of it, it's a lot easier to spend $1 million on marketing because you're going to get 5 million out of it. You just want to know that you have that formula that makes it worth it. And we're going to focus a little bit on that today. So the topic is how to convert clicks to customers. Let me just take up a little presentation here. So that is really the topic of the day. How do you convert clicks into paying customers? So it's not only about generating the clicks, generating the awareness, a lot of those things that people might or might not know that they need to do for their business. But at the end of the day, with those activities, you need to generate some kind of income. So that is really what we're going to focus on. I'm going to take you through some of the principles, how we need to think. And through this session, I really want to enable you to be able to make good decisions on what you need to do for your business, or what kind of advice you need to get for your business, or what kind of service that you will need to add to your business, or get help outsource for your business. So really, this is an empowerment session, so it may help you make good decisions. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the principle behind it, how to figure out what is a good decision, how do I figure out what's a good decision for my company specifically, and of course, how do I prioritize? What is important? Where am I at? So a little bit of self-evaluation, and how to navigate that as well. But without the insights, we can't do improvements. So let's dive in. Yeah, so this is me, and I'm talking here today. Already seen my face. I run Pine Tree Marketing. We are based in Cape Town. We service globally. I'm originally Norwegian. I'm really passionate about helping small businesses and entrepreneurs understanding the holistic picture of marketing, not just selling a service, but understanding the buyer's journey and how to convert clicks into customers. And that's obviously why we're having the session again today, because it's something people ask a lot about. And I know that this is important for small business owners. So let's share the knowledge on that. So advertising your business, and you might recognize yourself in this if you're already advertising, or you will very soon figure out that advertising your business might take people to your website or your landing page, so you can have traffic to your, we call it traffic to your page. But most often, very few of those clicks, the people that clicks on your ad or click on your posts or whatever you do, are ready to buy first time they visit your page. So you can have stats from things like Google Analytics or Facebook, whatever it is, showing that you have interest, but then you're wondering, then what? Then what do I do? So that is one of the things that we will address today. So a few things to start with. The ads and the advertisement should take the potential customer to a page that is tailored to the interest of what the ad generated interest for. So, for example, for a online shop selling shoes, if someone showed interest in running shoes, you don't take them to a page showing your assortments of stilettos, or the opposite way around. So that's obviously to point it out a little bit to the extreme, but that is what we're looking for. So really tailor the landing page or the page that you're taking people to. We're going to speak a little bit more about landing pages a little bit later, but really creating a good experience from the ad to the page that you're taking people to. And it must be easy to either buy straight away, which we know a lot of people won't do first time they visit, but maybe second, third, or fourth. So we don't know which visit they're on necessarily. But it needs to be easy to buy, which could be something as not giving too many choices, having checkout options that are easy, things like that, or to leave the details. And we're going to talk a lot about why we want the details as well, because it's very related to converting clicks into customers and the fact that people don't buy straight away. And second, we need to be able to convert more of your visitors. So we need a way to communicate with them over time. And that's a little bit in the reason, going into the reason of why you need their contact details. And we're going to talk about some ways to get that. But in marketing, we have an expression called a lead magnet. So either it will be a promise of some knowledge, or it could be a cheat sheet on something. We have a lead magnet about automation that we use, where we give people, so just an example, we give 22 automations that every entrepreneurial business should be doing. And that's a lead magnet. So people get that knowledge, but in return, we are getting their email address. And for that, we carefully think about what should we do with this email address. But generally what we would do, and we're going to go deeper into this, and I can pull the same example up again, we want to continue to communicate with them about what they originally showed interest in. So that is also important. But you will need to capture their contact details, and I'm going to talk about lead capturing. And for that, it could be useful to use a lead magnet or other things as well. The tools that we're going to talk a little bit or focus on a little bit more today and talk a little bit more about is exactly lead magnets. What are they? Why are they useful? What should they be? All of that kind of stuff. Lead capturing. What is it? Why do you need it? Why is it important? And how does this all relate to converting clicks into customers, which is the essence of today. We're going to talk about lead nurturing, a very important aspect of conversions or converting clicks into buyers. A lot of people don't necessarily do it, or they're not aware of it, or they can improve it. I'm going to give you some tools along the way as well, some links to some really, really good material that you can dive into. We're going to talk about a CRM system. I'm not going to talk too much about systems, but I will talk about the benefits of having one and how it adds to the goal, which is to convert more clients. We're going to talk about referral campaigns, which is about generating more business out of existing business, different ways to do it. So you might have thought about one way. I'm going to show you a few ways to do it. We're also going to talk about know when to follow up, which is somewhat related to sales. And I'm talking very much from experience, but also from research. I see my clients falling in this trap all the time. So we're going to talk about that as well, knowing when to follow up. We think normally we're very good at that, but generally we tend to have a lot of room for improvement. So first of all, we need to generate traffic to our website. So we can create the most amazing conversion funnel or conversion things and spend time on conversions, but we still need to attract relevant clients. We're going to look at the priorities at the end of the session, when you're going to start to think about traffic and when you're going to think about other things as well for your business. But people know generally that they need to generate traffic to your website. Two ways I'm going to highlight here is organic content and paid content. So creating organic content, we often hear about the word SEO, search engine optimization, which is about being visible on a search engine. And there's specific things you can do to get more visible on a search engine. It doesn't help just have a website. We do strategic things to place that website high on a search. So on your website, it can be things like blog posts, content, can be a blog on your page, how to automate your sales process, things like that. Whatever is relevant for your business, but it's content that answers questions for the reader that is relevant to the services that you supply. So for us, it will be marketing relating tips and tricks, how-tos, insights, things like that. On social media, it can be hashtags. It can also be content. We see on Google, you might get up LinkedIn profiles when you search for a content, company profiles. You can use hashtags. There's a lot of things you can do. All of that we call organic because you don't put explicitly money behind it unless you outsource it to someone to help you with. Obviously, then it will cost you something, but it's all not directly paid. Those kind of activities also will take a little bit more time to give results, but when they start to show results, they will show very solid results. So it will be consistent results. So it's a nice thing to do in conjunction with advertising. Then we have advertising, and I'm going to highlight two mediums that a lot of people use, which will be Google and social media. They work differently. I like to look at the one as a pull and the one as a push. So Google shows results to people actively searching for keywords that are relating to you. So if someone is searching for automation experts in Cape Town, they might be seeing us, or they might be finding an automotive company as well. But they're searching for keywords relevant to what you're supplying. So shoe business in Cape Town, shoe business in London, shoe business in New York. You will get up relevant hits for what you're searching for. On social media is different. In social media, you're placing yourself in front of people. So they're not actively looking for your service necessarily, but you're placing yourself in front of them. So typically on a Facebook feed, they will come up an ad. Facebook tries to decide what could be relevant for you. So they try to make your ads more relevant. So if you are, and this is where targeting comes as well from ads. So say I'm targeting females the age of 25 to 35, and I tell Facebook that, the chances are that they will place my ad in front of those people. Well, they will place it in front of those people. Doesn't mean that you have full visibility. So targeting is also a sign in itself how to reach your target group. Something you also can look into. We're going to talk about a little bit about it. Keep in mind when you're doing all of these things, a click is not a sale and a like is not a sale. So you can report as many clicks as you want to your website, as many likes as you want to your social profiles, is not a sale yet. And again, very few people will buy the first time they visit your page. If you're expecting people to buy straight away, you will be disappointed. So we're going to go through how do you need to think to rephrase that expectation. Then we go over to lead capturing. We're taking a little bit of a trip down a customer journey lane here. So the advertising leads to a click or a like, but we need to make sure that we generate leads. We do that with lead capturing. So again, and I can't repeat this enough, my first stat here, 96% of your website visitors will most likely not buy the first time they visit your website. You will find variation of these stats online. So this is just one that I'm highlighting here, but it will be in the similar range. Basically, most people will not buy first time they visit your website. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Human behavior, online purchase behavior. So you need to make sure that you have the opportunity to interact with people over time. And in that way, convince them of the value and the benefits and why they should be buying your service or your product. It's online purchase behavior. We are building a relationship with that customer. We need to build trust. The customer needs to know that they can trust us. There's less and less trust online. There's people scamming. There's a lot of reasons why people won't buy straight away, or that we're just busy. So many impulses that we're just too busy to make a purchase decision right there and then, or we do want to do some research. So lead generation is the process of generating the traffic and capturing contact information from your potential customers. So it really is, if you look at this, and I'm going to have this on another slide as well, an example of a Facebook ad. People click on your ad, they're coming to a tailored landing page, which we're going to talk a little bit more about, and then you capture their details on that landing page. We can also talk about but it's really important to capture someone's details to be able to help them buy your product. We're not talking about forcing people to buy your product at all. I'm very against spamming and forcing and trying to hard sell to people. We want to help them, enable people that need your services or products to actually buy, because we're quite slow when it comes to buying. So how do you collect their contact information? You can do it through web forms, which can be the standard one that we most likely to know is your contact form on your website. It's not necessarily a very efficient one, but it is a web form, so it will look something like that. But there's a lot of creative ways to use web forms to capture someone's details and really understanding where they're coming from, etc. Landing pages are great because landing pages are more freestanding pages than your website in itself. So they can be highly targeted for the traffic that you consciously driving to that landing page. So landing pages are great. Really, really targeted messaging can be used on landing pages. And I'm going to give some examples of that specifically. Competitions, people love competitions. Run competitions, get people to sign up. Make sure that you are conscious about getting relevant people. So I would not necessarily run a competition to get people that will have no interest in growing their business, no interest in any marketing of the business. They might not know that they're interested in marketing specifically, but they're not growing your business. So trying to get leads or having competition that is related to your business. So a competition that I could run and that I've been running as well is you can win a consultation to help you grow your business. So that is very relevant, where the price is relevant to what I supply or what my business supplies, and people enter it because they would have a business or they would be interested in that kind of price. So I'm getting more relevant leads than if I just gave away a free T-shirt for something. So I can also give away a free T-shirt, no problem with that. But running competitions, the more relevant leads you get, the easier it is to convert them as well. So most often, you need to offer people something for free for them to give you the contact details. When someone gives contact details online, they know that they're being captured into your system, and that they will most likely receive emails or further communication or further advertising. So make sure it's worth it for them. Make sure, understand that this is their property that they're giving you. Respect it and give value. So we call it a lead magnet. It can be a lot of different things, but you will see me using that. And if you're going to Google this later as well, lead magnets, tips for lead magnets for certain industries, a lot of things you can do around that. But some examples can be discount code on the first purchase, free information. If you have an interior design shop, you can have free interior design ideas, color coding, different things, free add-ons. Buy this lotion and get a free mascara when you buy it. Things like that would be lead magnets, or free consultations as well, depending on how much time you can give, of course. So it depends on the value of your leads when it comes to that. So that's just some examples of what you can do to do lead capturing. The important thing is that you do it, and we're going to talk again about the priorities. I'm first running you through the process, then we're going to talk about how you should prioritize. And then lead capturing, and this is why we're coming into why I'm talking about a CRM system. So it's quite essential when you're capturing leads to not have them on sticky notes, a piece of paper, an Excel sheet, because it really is not conducive to converting these clients. So you might be doing okay that you're capturing, but you lose the ability to convert. So this session is about converting clients into customers. Um, and this becomes essential. There's a lot of CRM systems out there, so I'm going to talk about uh, what you should be looking for in a system. So at Pantry Marketing, we also certified within the CRM and automation system Keep, something you can try as well. There's a link here. You can try it free for a month if you want to. But there's a lot of systems out there. We deal with other systems as well. We have clients on various systems, so we really try to help clients make good decisions when they have a decision around the CRM system. So some of the things you should be looking for is to capture contact details and to be able to segment information. So having a CRM system that really makes it easy to get client details in there without a lot of manual effort, without a lot of, oh, I need to remember it and things like that. So you should be able to connect to all the forms that you have on your website, landing pages, ads, everything. People should just end up into this system. CRM system stands for Customer Relationship Management System. So that's exactly what you're doing. You are enabling them to become customers by having a system. The system should allow you to automate processes. For example, automatically sending them an email with the lead magnet that you just promised them. Because I'll be talking about lead capturing and the importance of a lead magnet. So if you don't have to manually send them whatever you promise, you're really increasing the service and how the experience is with your company, which benefits you when you're trying to convert someone. So sending them an email with the lead magnet that you promised them and adding them to a relevant nurturing campaign. So you should be able to do this automatically. You don't have to, but on the next point as well, you should be able to segment your contacts so you can upselling. So you can focus on the right upselling if it's existing customers. You can ask for referral if it's existing customers, but you can also know which lead is coming from where, so you can put them into relevant communication. And this is where automation also plays in. It's going to be challenging for you to manage all these different paths at the same time. And targeting is very valuable when it comes to conversions. So landing pages. So here's just a few examples. I'm going to talk a little bit about landing pages because they're really, really powerful. And I'm going to have a little example for you. So we were doing business for an accounting company. And this accounting company is, of course, supplying accounting services. And you might be one of those businesses that think, yeah, but I have one service and that's what I supply. So what we did, and I got a website and we all draw them there, which is fine, but you can do more to convert more business. And that's what you want to do. So we created 2 campaigns at the same time for this accounting business. One campaign or an ad. When I say campaign, it's ads and landing pages and a conversion plan for hairdressers. So the ad for the hairdressers, a little bit more pastel colors, a little bit of a hair, but it's talking about accounting services. The accounting services that were supplied to hairdressers is not unique to hairdressers. But just because we can target them so much more, they feel that the ad is more relevant because they like hair and we show them pictures of hair. The landing page is talking about accounting for hairdressing businesses, how it's so well and they integrate with physical shopping systems, whatever it is. But we talk about do you rather want to spend your time doing hair than doing your accounting? Let us help you or growing your business, whatever it is. So we're really targeting the information on the landing page a little bit more as well. We again using more relevant pictures, more relevant colors. And this accounting company is not specializing on hairdressers because the parallel campaign that we're running is for construction companies. But on the construction company ads, we use more blues, orange, yellows, type of construction imagery, and we use more construction text. So if you're interested in focusing more on the challenges that you have in your construction business, not really worried about your accounting, not really of your interest, let us help you. So still accounting services for construction companies. The only really difference we do is small adjustments, doesn't take a lot of time on content, imagery, and targeting. It helps us draw more relevant leads. They're all looking for accounting services, but they feel that it's more relevant to them. Landing pages can be a lot of different things. This is one that we ran on how to convert for a webinar, how to convert clicks into customers. Here is some examples that I picked from. So Keap has a lot of templates that one can use. But this is also another nice thing that I like about Keap is that it enables you to create nice landing pages without being a designer, without having to employ someone to design it. Because really nice drag and drop features, or you can use these pre-templated or pre-made templates. So here is one digital agency lead gen. Here is one free chapter for a book. So someone is selling a book, but you're giving a free chapter, automation behind it, and it's an upsell. Subscribe, video library subscription, one-time offer. It's a very nice one as well. So it's an offer you might not want to put on your website, but to a specific group of people that has shown some interest. You just want to close the deals, and you're giving them a link to this landing page to purchase, which might have a different deal on the website, and it feels more exclusive to them because they will check what your website price is as well. So it's quite nice as well. I'm going to show you an example of how this can look like in an automated campaign as well, just to show you how easy it can be done when you have a tool that allows it. I'm going to give you an example of the free ebook. So here is just, so this is just inside Keap if you wanted, but this can be built in a lot of other automation tools as well. Just remember, Keap is also a CRM and automation tool. But here is the lead magnet. So now we're trying to create a customer journey that enables good service and conversion. So this icon here symbolizes a landing page that is created for an ebook. I'm not going to click you into that, but it looks something like the ones I showed you before. Then when they fill in this page, they automatically goes into an ebook delivery sequence, which is illustrated here. And in this sequence, there's 2 emails here, written it underneath here, supplying this ebook. Why 2? Because I'm sending them one, and if they don't click on the first one, I'll send them another one to try to make sure that they get this ebook. I'm not going to send them forever, but if they click on the first one, they will not move on. They will go out of the sequence. You see here, ebook downloaded. So they clicked on the download link. Then I will put them in a relevant nurturing campaign for that specific ebook. So if it is our ebook, 22 automations that every entrepreneurial business should automate, I will put them into the relevant nurturing for automations, tips on what to automate, repeat, how are you doing it, how should you think when you make content for this kind of stuff, but very, very specific for automation. So this all happens in the background. The only thing I now need to worry about, because I got this in place, is to generate traffic to this landing page, looking how the landing page is performing to see what should I improve. Now, I don't have to think about having to send emails with this ebook. I don't have to think about if they're clicking and where am I putting them, because I've already set that up. So that is the beauty of automation. It really saves you a lot of time once set up to focus on other things. Then we have lead nurturing. It's really important when you're converting clicks into customers. I'm going to focus here, and you see I have my little thing up again. So we're going into the advertising, the clicks, the landing page, the capturing leads on the landing page. Now we're going into nurturing. So nurturing is going to guide people on their journey into becoming a client. Don't expect everyone to become a client, but this is really what we're focusing here, is to increase the rate of people at moving through these stages, so there's more people ending up being clients. If you miss one of these stages, your conversion really drops. I'm going to go through that later, show you those things, and again, how to prioritize it. So some of the things I'm going to focus on this when it comes to lead nurturing is retargeting and email marketing. So what is retargeting? Retargeting is advertising to people that are aware of your business. So that could be people that you already advertised to, but you're advertising to them again. And you might ask me, why would I spend money on people and for ads for people that I've already spent advertising money on? Well, if you haven't captured those leads, first of all, then they're not leads at all. So if they didn't end up buying or leaving the details in the first place, you can, to a good large degree, place ads in front of these people again, knowing exactly that they have seen you before. So you're targeting your ads even more specifically to them. This is dependent on pixels. And if you don't know what that is, there's little things that you place on your website that reads that, hey, Ines has visited your website, and it put little trace on my browser, so you have the opportunity to know not who I am specifically, because you don't have my email, but identify that my browser is now revisiting something or a page. That is to a large degree disappearing more and more. So be aware of that. It's dependent on those things. But it can also be, but pixels is the most common ways of doing retargeting. Then we have, or using pixels to be able to do it. Then we have email marketing. And please do not confuse that with spam. Because it's not very efficient when you're spamming people, but it's really one of the most cost-effective ways to keep in contact with your prospects, and it's proven to be very effective. It's really, really cheap compared to, say, advertising. You're generating all this interest, and people know they have to spend money on advertising, but they're not necessarily doing nurturing. So they're not building the relationship. And this is where it's important to use a CRM system as well, because you want to make sure that you're not spamming. You want to make sure that you know what people are interested in and where they're coming from. So even in my example with accounting services, just by having the difference between a hairdresser and a construction company, just slightly different, don't need to reinvent the communication, but just slightly different, really increases the chances of them buying, because they feel it's so much more relevant. The key is to send the right information at the right time and to know your target group. So my nurturing to hairdressers wanting accounting services will be slightly different from my nurturing for construction companies that want accounting services. But again, we do a lot of, when you build these parallel paths, we can do a lot of copy paste, and we just do adjustments. So you don't have to put 100%. You put 100% into the first campaign in the sequence, and then it's literally maybe 10-20% just to replicate. So, but it's really, really valuable for your conversion process. And it's not only newsletters. So a lot of people do the first two steps here, or a lot of businesses. They have an amazing newsletter, and they spend a lot of time on this newsletter. They focus so much, and they think, oh, what's been going on in my business? Why am I so interesting? Or they just don't even know what to write and just figure something out. And they send it to a lot of people. That is often considered by a larger percentage of the people receiving as not so relevant. So you really want to target it more. So you want to segment your target group. Okay, these yellow people here were interested in automation. These dark blue people here interested in LinkedIn marketing. These blue people here are interested in Facebook marketing. And these green people are interested in improving their email marketing. All different people. And by me understanding that, I can target my communication so much better. And you might ask me, but how should I spend time on that? If you're not doing it, you're not really improving your conversion rate. So try to be aware of it. If you have a lot of different target groups and not a lot of resources, at least be aware of that you are sending maybe multiple target groups are getting the same newsletter, but be aware of who's in your target group for your specific newsletters. So don't just blast them out. the end result that you might be working towards, and you don't need to be there straight away, is that the person feels the newsletter quite relevant to them. So that's where we're trying to get to. So standardized monthly newsletters to your customer base is not necessarily enough or the right way to go. If you tailor and streamline your communication, it will work better. And how do you do that? You do lead capture with purpose. So when you do lead capture, you need to just log where do they come from, how do they come in, things like that. It will also show you how efficient your ads are doing, for example. And this is again why I highly recommend having a CRM to help you with that process. So just do it as they come in, automatically helps you define where they came from and put them in the right category, because that is not something you should be spending a lot of time on. And the value of trigger campaigns. So when trigger campaign will be when this happens, do this. So when someone filling in this landing page accounting for hairdressers, then put them in the relevant campaign for hairdressers. Or if someone is requesting my ebook, put them in the campaign for ebooks. And again, automated, it's just really going to save you a lot of time. And do not forget, when you're talking about lead nurturing, to nurture your actual customers. In that way, you can get repeat orders and you can get referrals, you can get positive reviews, a lot of things that will help you to also generate new business. When it comes to lead nurturing, you should be measuring the effects. Identify what works, what doesn't work, replace, improve. If you don't have it in place at all and just shooting blind, you don't even know if it's working or not. So I'm not telling you that you need to have the perfect lead nurturing. I'm telling you that you should start, because in only that way you can figure out what's working and what's not. Often when we set up a brand new client with lead nurturing, or first time the client is doing it, is we try different messaging to see what kind of email works, what kind of ad works, and from there, if we learn what's working on email, we will use that information to improve our ads, our websites, and everything else. And repeat what works well. Don't be scared of repeating. But the clue is here to start setting it up so you have something to measure. And we'll have a little bit about that in the end as well. Know when to follow up. So the sales statistics here, and the numbers might be small, but I'm going to highlight a few of them, is really about how to prioritize and why you need to automate certain things. Or I will highly recommend that you do it so that you can focus on the other elements that you need to do to convert clicks into customers. So the end result is that I want you to spend time on leads that are ready to buy, not trying to pull a sale out of someone that is not ready to buy. You have to make it easy to buy. So you have to remember to put an offer in front of people and the relevant offer, and remember to follow up on leads. We really often fall short on remembering to follow up on leads. There's a few reasons for that. So the top stat, I'm going to just mention that one first. The top stat is 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. They're like, wow, why does that happen? It's one of the reasons, and then two of the reasons I'm going to highlight. One of the reasons is because these leads end up on sticky notes, they end up in a book, they end up in an email. There's no structured way for them to be collected in something like a CRM system. So lack of system, lack of processes is a really, really big contributor. So 48% of business has really been thrown out the window. So imagine now if you're spending a lot of money on ads and you're throwing 48% of that out of the window. It's a no-brainer that we need to think a little bit more about capturing leads. So that is one reason. The other one is also that as people, we're scared of failure, and the same is for salespeople. So they might be scared of following up with prospects as well. And if that prospect is just on a sticky note, it's very easy to think, oh, I'll do that later. If that prospect is in your CRM system with a reminder, hey, you have a potential deal here. Come, remember now, and motivates you to do this. chances are much higher that you will follow up on that. And if you have a sales manager or boss over you, they will make sure that you also follow up on your leads. So that is really a help to CRM is really a nice tool to make sure that leads don't fall through the cracks in the first place. Then I want to jump a little bit down in my stats. So down here it says only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. And why is that important? Why don't we make more contacts, and why should we be making more contacts? Jumping to the bottom, and I'm going to add the last 2 here. 90% of sales are made on the 4th contact and up. So 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. 90% of sales are made on the 4th contact and up. So when I'm talking about converting clicks to customers, this is very important to understand. These 3 things. 50% you're losing because if you don't have a system. If you don't think about it and how many contact points you have, you don't generally follow up enough. And it's often related to feeling like you're nagging the prospect, not knowing what to say. So if you create processes for this, like automated emails that can support a salesperson, or warm up the client or the potential client until they're ready to buy, so that you can spend time on leads that are ready to buy, it makes this a lot easier. So really recommend adding contact points. And we're talking about contact points here. How many times people are in touch with your business. It can be ad can be 1 contact point, your landing page can be 1 contact point, sending them a confirmation email afterwards can be a contact point. You're already up in 3. And it hasn't even touched a salesperson yet. And then you can send them various nurturing and rate them on, do they seem like they're now ready to buy based on criteria that we set. And when you feel like they're ready to buy, the salesperson can use, or that's you as well, sales and whatever, but the salesperson can spend time on closing the deal or talking to the person. Maybe you even just get appointments booked in your calendar because people are ready to do that, because you set up in nurturing so that you don't have to convince them, because they are coming to you. It's really valuable to be aware of. And then we have wow your customers. And why do we care about this? That is because your customers will be your greatest ambassadors. Your customers already trust you, so they will be more likely to do repeat business with you. If you have a service and a type of retention business, if you wow your customers, you can double the time that they stay with you, or quadruple actually. So you're really increasing the lifetime value of the people that you already converted. So this is why we should spend time and effort into our existing customers. How do you wow customers? There's a few things. I'm obviously not going to highlight single thing you can do, but offer your customer additional value, something more than they expected. They must feel like, oh, wow, I didn't expect that. Oh, that was so great. So wow your customers. And that's why I'm talking about wowing. You can do it through information and knowledge. So they bought a product for you. You can give them tips on how to maintain that product, how to use it better. Say you're selling running shoes, you can give them a training program, how to use it, how to look after them. You can give them an extra pair of laces with it, whatever you want, but make sure you impress them. It can be add-on services for free. So when you buy something, you get additional services for free. Example that we use is when you buy Keap, CRM and automation tool from us, we give you an implementation course for free, and we do a one-on-one call for free. All of that to enable you to have success with your purchase. Availability, something you can choose to do for free as well. So be available to ask questions is something you can do, or having open forums. People can come and ask questions, etc. You want to demonstrate authenticity. So if you are a company that has a product, add a personal note to each order. Thank you so much for purchasing. This can also be a service. Promptly respond to complaints, and always say thank you. We tend to forget to say thank you. Thank you for purchasing with us. A very, very simple thing to do, but easy to forget still. and people do appreciate them. And how do you ask for referrals? So this is really awkward for many people, is asking for referrals. So first thing I would recommend to do is to follow up with your customers after the purchase. I will show you after this as well, after this slide, an automated way to do this as well. For you guys, I think this is a bit awkward. So what you need to do is to follow up with your customers after the purchase. You want to segment your customers based on if they're happy or unhappy. If they are unhappy, you really want to take them down the path of correcting that impression. So you want to put effort into correcting that impression. If they are happy, they're ready to be asked for referrals and reviews. What should you be doing? You should for reviews, you should be it should be triggered by someone being happy with your service, first of all, or unhappy customers being turned into happy customers. You should focus on the platforms where your customers are most active. You should think about also where you get more customers from. But if your customers mainly using Twitter, then ask them for reviews on Twitter. Or if you're getting most of your clients through Google, maybe give them a link to give you a review on Google. If they only use Facebook, then ask them for reviews on Facebook. Make it super simple for them to ask to give you reviews. This is also nice to automate because you can send them the link based on the fact that they are happy customers. Referral campaigns. How do you get referrals? Give your customers, ideally the happy ones, the ones that you turn into happy customers, maybe an incentive to refer you. Give them something for free. That new customer that they refer to is so valuable because they already talked your services up. So it's really, really valuable for you. It's a lot cheaper than to buy that lead from scratch. Again, automated. Really, really awkward in the middle of an implementation or a service, something like that, to start like, oh, by the way, do you have some friends or do you have a business colleague? It's a little bit awkward. It's nice to automate because you really need to be doing it. So here is an example, just how it looks like. And don't be scared, there's a lot of things here. I'm going to walk you through it. So here is a trigger. So this is an example of a trigger campaign. When so this we called new client survey. Create customer loyalty for professional services. So all of this stuff that I show you is templates of campaigns that we give to clients as well to use. So they don't have to build it themselves. But yeah, so here is a trigger where someone's becoming a client, and we send a feedback survey. Again, you see the trend of us sending the email twice because they might not reply the first time. If they reply the first time, fine, they won't receive the second mail, but you will see that trend going that we send 2 or 3 emails. It's purely because we don't know when we're reaching these people, if it's a convenient time for them to answer, or they might be busy with other things. Then in those emails, they can click if they're satisfied, if they're neutral, or if they're dissatisfied. If they are satisfied, if they click on that, we will take them into the satisfied customer follow-up, which is a couple of emails asking for reviews, referrals, and we update their tags and maybe trigger a few other things. But we really, the point here is that we have appropriate follow-up, asking for referrals or reviews, those kind of things that is appropriate for a satisfied customer. Neutral customer, we will have something relevant, a process that is relevant for a neutral customer, but I'm going to jump to the dissatisfied because this is all things that you customize anyway. You decide what's right for you and your business. But if you have a dissatisfied customer, the follow-up looks very different than if you have a satisfied customer. So for the dissatisfied customer, we make sure that we have internal processes to follow this up, and that's what we do. So just really an example for how we send a survey and get what we want out of that survey, just automate it. Don't be scared of the automation, but I highly recommend to have a look at how that can enable you to do more on your conversion journey than just doing everything manually. So a few things just to summarize so far. How do we convert clicks into customers? We're driving traffic to a tailored landing page. We spoke about landing pages and what they are and why you need them, but it really needs to be tailored. Doesn't mean that if you have one service or one product, that you can't have a tailored landing page. You need to have it tailored for the target group that you're targeting. And the better targeting you have, the better your conversion will be. We need a great lead magnet because we need to capture. We need to have lead capture to have actual leads and potential customers, not just the visitors, not just the like. So we need a great lead magnet, whatever that is, being a competition, free consultation, ebook, cheat sheet, discount code, whatever it is. We need to have a great lead magnet. And then we want a targeted nurturing campaign. Really a key to conversion is to have targeted nurturing, relevant information at relevant times, understand your target group. So your CRM system is going to help you making those decisions and understanding a little bit more what kind of segments am I working with here. And then as a bonus, we need to make sure we get more business from existing customers. This is something a lot of clients might forget, but it's really, really important. So we're going to go into what we call life cycle marketing. I'm going to quickly run you through this, and then I'm going to talk to you about how to prioritize the work. So what is life cycle marketing? It's really about making little nudges in the customer journey as people are moving through it. So we do know that it normally starts with generating some new traffic. Then we're capturing leads from that current traffic. And now you will see now in the next slide how I restructure these elements to help you decide where to focus. The lead capturing is essential. So if any of these points are missing, we will struggle to convert. It will be harder to convert. So we're capturing the leads. Then we systemize the sales conversion. And we have nurturing and delivery things here. We systemize the sales conversion. Really, this is where a lot of my recommendations around automation will come in as well. We must make it easy to purchase and what that means. It could be valuable having some external person looking at your purchasing process. It can be a family, it can be a friend, it can be whatever, but they mustn't be too close to your business because usually we are not that great at criticizing our own purchase process because we know it too well. So that is something to look at. Make it easy to purchase, have a good offer, have a relevant offer the right thing, don't have too many choices, things like that. Re-engaging unconverted leads. So this is really where your CRM system kicks in as well. So you building a list of people that might not have purchased straight away, but those people still have a value because they have showed interest in your business. So really something there as well. Deliver and wow. So we talked about that, how you really generate more business of existing business. You see they're all color coded here. So red is starting to now we have existing business. We create upsells, we get referrals. So you sell more on existing clients, you get new clients from existing clients. And along all this, in both the conversion process and in the post-sale process, we do nurturing. Nurturing is really nudging you along the way to get these things to happen because they won't necessarily move just because you have them. Your nurturing is helping you nudge people along the way. So the priority path looks very different. You will see here that the one that was in front is now at the end. And there's reasons for that. So I'm gonna walk you through it. So this priority path is also the way we approach a new client. So a new client might have some of these things in order, but they might not. So this is how we identify where do we need to go, how do we need to prioritize. If it's limited budget, where do we need to put in the effort? So one of the things we first look at is is there an existing list of some kind? Do they have a CRM system and they have unused potential in that? The reason why we look at that first is because if there is, we just have to start communicate with them. So we don't really have to spend money on creating ads yet. We just start to look at that existing list and how to communicate with them. And we probably use a lot of email marketing, which we have talked about is quite a cheap way. We start to look at the existing target group, segmenting it, looking at how can we get potential out of your existing lists. That income will finance the next steps that comes as well. So we look at it from that approach. Then if they have that and they've done that, or they might not have a list, we look at how do we capture leads from existing traffic. So we're not yet on generating traffic. We look at existing traffic. Are we actually capturing leads? Really, really important, because if not, we're driving traffic into a big bucket of nothing. So we need to make sure that we are capturing leads. Are those processes in place? This is where we often go into a CRM system. If they have one, we will use it. If they don't have one, we will recommend a suitable one. But it's really important that the lead capture is in order. If not, the effect of what the other things we do will not be as great. Then we're looking at the sales conversion process. Are we intentional enough in seeking to convert our leads into clients? Are we intentionally trying to convert clients, or don't we have a process for it? This also doesn't have to be perfect, but having it in place will help us to improve it. So having a sales conversion process is just important. Deliver a fantastic customer experience, because if that's not done, we will not generate more business out of existing business. Asking happy customers for referrals, upselling to existing customers. You see, suddenly we're going straight into existing customer material. It is usually a lot of untapped potential here, and it will generate revenue, untapped revenue that we can use to continue to finance other activities. Making it easier to purchase. We look at the purchase process. We look at the nurturing process. So this is more longer term nurturing. Sales conversion is shorter term. Longer term nurturing. And when all of this is in place, we have our conversion machine there. Only then do we start to look at generating new traffic. Now we're not putting the money into a bucket and we don't know what's happening. Now we're putting money into a conversion process and a system that, if nothing else, we can keep on improving. But we can capture people. We can work on our conversion process. We can sell and we can upsell. We have things in place so that the money that we spend on organic, the money time, and on ads is actually constructive, because it's leading up to a good conversion process. So this is really, when people start here, this is where money gets lost into marketing, because the rest of the stuff is not in place. Lead capturing is not in place. There's a sticky notes, there's a piece of paper. It's not a structured process. There's no process for how do we do sales. We don't ask for referrals. We're not tapping into the potential of our existing clients to generate more business. So now you're getting clients in without really tapping into the full potential of that business. Don't have the nurturing in place. So constantly people stop up, so they don't move forward. They don't move forward. And again, you get frustrated because they don't move forward, but the process is not there. So focus on that often before generating new traffic. Or we do a little bit of a lot of these things, but we try not to forget any of these steps along the way. So it's really, really a good priority path on how you can approach your business as well. What am I doing? Do I have an existing list I can work on? Am I doing lead capturing? Am I using old Excel sheets? I'm not a fan of Excel sheets because we think they're very organized, but we see time and time again that it's not. And even if you have tabs and naming, and it's very manual and very manually updated. Systemizing sales, go through this. What are you doing for your business? Where are you not doing anything? And that is how you decide on your priority. Rate them, 1 to 8. And then if something is completely missing, definitely it should be a focus point. And that is really my last slide of information, but understanding how to get started is also something. So I want you to take away from this session to understand the value of life cycle marketing. Just understand that there's a value there. There's this online purchase behavior that we need to understand to be able to convert leads, and the priority path thereafter. Highly recommend to get a CRM and automation tool to really help you stay organized and help your conversion process. And then get started with the basics. Basics. Do you have a definition of your ideal customers? If you don't, something we should be looking into. Are you driving traffic to a page that is set up to convert? Do you have a landing page? Are you communicating what the potential client want to hear? Or are you communicating what you want to tell them? Big difference. And are you following up? And I know you want to say yes on all of these things, but especially on the follow up, but we know from experience that is not always the case. So this is what I wanted to take away from this session. And with that, I want to say thank you for participating, and good luck. Let us know how you are doing, and if you have any questions, let us know, and we will do our best to answer them. Best of luck.